Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
That would be fantastic. We need to make that happen, please.
No.
Okay.
No. Just no.
She would be going ham sandwich on here.
Yeah.
I think mine would too, but she's scared to death to come on here.
Really?
Yeah. Mama Julie, come on the podcast. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
She's like, nope.
It should be fine. What could go wrong?
Yeah. I asked Robbie. Robbie said, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah.
Very
So he said
cool.
he's down. Yeah. So I have to get him on sometime. And who else did I ask? It was like, I don't know.
A couple of our youth are down.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get them on. That'd be cool to have them on with Brittany as well.
Yeah.
Like all three of them.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. We've had Bubby on.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
That's about it. We
I
got
don't
Cole
think-
next week.
Yes. Yes.
So that's going to be.
I don't think any of my kids would talk.
Would like actually say anything?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got, Emma got her recorder. You know, they started learning how to play the recorder at school.
Yeah.
So she got hers. Well, she can't play it because she keeps laughing into the recorder. So it's just like,
gosh.
beep, beep, beep.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Is it for like a class?
I guess music class.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Okay,
she's
that
in
makes sense. Yeah.
Whatever grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, whatever she's
That is so cool.
Yeah.
It just keeps laughing in it. That's well, that was how it was when Bobby first started his YouTube channel. He was kind of, iffy,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, well, you practice it before you hit record,
We still don't know what to say.
Yeah, you just kind of go with the flow. Well, after a while, you just do it. Like
Right.
you're gonna suck at first. It's just gonna happen. Just press record
Right.
and just do it. It's
Let
it's
it
part
flow.
of it. Yeah,
Let it
and
flow.
you'll get better as it goes
Let
on.
it flow.
Don't do that. Oh Lord Jesus, help us.
What?
Go ahead,
Do you
sing
want to
it.
build a snowman?
Sing it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
And the fans say,
wow. Haters.
haters gonna hate. Tough crowd. What is up, everybody? What's up? 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 Thank you for joining us yet again. What's up? Just throw that one in there too. Thank you for joining us again today on this Almost Brothers podcast on Super Bowl Sunday.
Woo.
Who do you got winning?
Super Bowl ads. I got money on them.
On the ads, they're definitely gonna win. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just not a football guy.
Yeah,
Me and my wife are going to watch it.
yeah.
I watch it every year, but I watch that and WrestleMania and Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't watch any of it any other time of the year. So
I don't watch if the Patriots ain't in it. I usually don't watch. I'll catch the ads like on YouTube.
Yeah.
They'll put all the good ones up. So
this will be a big surprise to you. I'm more a fan of the Super Bowl food than I am the actual Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked when I
Oh, my
realized that about
goodness.
myself. I know.
that's
Self-awareness is a
I
good thing.
never
I
would
know.
have guessed that.
I know. I got deep. I went deep on
You
that one.
really
Yeah.
like you're just really sharing some deep dark secrets, man. That's what
I'm glad I got that off my chest.
I'm
I feel better.
Well, this has been a good episode, man. Got a lot done. That's so funny. But yeah, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about leadership, man. Just not that we know everything about it, not anything like that,
Lord
but just
knows.
try to get better.
Yeah.
Coming up. What up? What up? What up?
There's been a lot of what ups on this episode so far.
Well, man, it's been a good night, okay? We're all tired. Man, Such amazing services today.
It was.
Good Lord.
It was a good Sunday.
So good. And now you're actually going to stay up and watch it.
Yeah.
I got homework, so I mean, there's no getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, yeah.
Sorry for your luck.
It's okay. You got to do what you got to do. Like I said, Patriots ain't in it, so.
Doesn't really matter then, does it?
No. I kind of want, I don't know if it's just like hating or what, but I kind of want Kansas City to lose.
That's, you live in Missouri,
I
right?
know.
You're going to get us
That's
hate mail.
why right. I'm sorry for any of our listeners that are Kansas City Chiefs fans. I'm sorry. It's okay. Like, I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I don't even know. I just want them to lose.
It's the Chiefs and Steelers, right? That's who's playing tonight.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I have no clue.
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chiefs.
I think it's the Eagles.
Eagles. That's right.
Yeah.
I had the P
Eagles.
right.
You were way Samsonite. I was way off. Wow.
It doesn't matter anyway.
That is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my son Tristan was telling me today that they needed the Eagles needed the guy from Invincible, Vince Papale, the movie.
Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, I'm rooting against them just because there's a lot of like bandwagon fans,
Right.
So I know I've got some buddies that are like real, like legit fans. Like my buddy Kyle, he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He has been good, bad, ugly,
Right.
doesn't matter. But like I got students who are like, yeah, Kansas City's gonna win. I'm like, name 2 Kansas City players minus Patrick Mahomes. Can't do it.
No,
I'm like, stop it.
I can't, and I don't even
Good
pretend
Lord.
to be a football fan. So
Like, oh my goodness gracious! But no, ain't watching none of that. None of that. Actually, I thought a big WWE event was tonight, but it's not. I think it's next week.
what's that?
Elimination Chamber, another big one.
I've never seen that.
Really, really good.
Yeah, we need to check that out.
Yep, another big one. Yep. Heck yeah, man. But yeah. Just talking about leadership, man. I kind of seen a post and it kind of sparked this idea and this thought. Kind of in my heart, especially when it comes to, I mean, it could be any kind of leadership. You come down to a company, it could be a church, whatever it may be. We come from the aspect of ministry and a church, but
Sure.
I mean, I think it goes for all different aspects of life. I think that especially nowadays where people are scared to death to admit that they're wrong or admit that they've got something they need to work on or admit that, man, maybe I need to change some stuff. I think that we like to put the blame on others as leaders. Oh, you should be doing more. You should be doing this. And I know that the thing it said, it was something to the effect of, well, if you're not getting something out of the service, maybe you need to blah, 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 fill in the blank. And while I think that's partially true, I think that us as leaders, and I mean us as just an overall leaders of the church, also need to be introspective and look at ourselves and say, hey, is there some things that maybe I need to change?
Right.
What can I do to help this? Or what can I do to make this better for you instead of just putting the blame on that person?
Yeah, and I've when you talked about leadership being whether it's ministry or company or whatever, I've got a lot of management experience in work. So one of the most important management lessons I ever learned was leadership by example.
Yeah.
So that transfers into ministry really well, because if you want people to serve, if you want people to put themselves out there, you in turn have to be transparent and allow yourself to be vulnerable in those things that you deal with.
Yeah.
Because we all do. And anybody that sits there and says, oh, I've got this all figured out, I don't deal with anything, I've got it down, is lying either to you or themselves, one or the other.
Right.
It's a lie. So we just have to put ourselves out there.
That's good. Yeah. And it's top down, like, especially in ministry. For the most part, of course, there's going to be outliers. Of course, there's going to be people that just, that aren't catching the culture.
Right.
But as a leader, if you want people to be on fire, to be excited, to have a good attitude, to be servants, to do all these things, but you're not those things,
Right.
it's never going to happen. You set the bar.
Right.
So it starts from the top down again, because a leader, people are going to look at that and say, okay, this is what they're about. So this is what this church or this ministry or whatever is about. Same thing in management. You know, if you're managing a grocery store, you can't expect your workers to be dedicated workers if you're not a dedicated worker.
Right.
You just can't. No, why? Because they're going to look at you and go, okay, here's where the bar's set. As long as I'm within that, I'm good.
Yeah.
So if you set the bar very low, guess what? Your workers are going to.
You have officially made that your expectation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you want to get mad because the people aren't living up to a standard that you're not even living up to.
Right.
You know, so I think that we really need to check ourselves as a leader. Even the Bible says it, that you're held to a higher standard. Mm-hmm. So you need to check yourself and say, what can I do? Even if you know 100% that okay, that person's in the wrong, still, you know how much easier it is to go to them and say, well, what could I have done different to help you? What could I have done different to fix this mistake or to make you feel better or to whatever it may be, and make sure that we're doing everything in our power. You know, sometimes it's out of our control and that person's just going to be mad or going to, you know, whatever. But I think that the knee-jerk reaction cannot be, well, you need to do this. You need to do that. It needs to be, what could I have done to make this better?
And I think that in a church atmosphere, if you're not on board with the vision of that church, then maybe you're at the wrong church.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of different churches for a lot of different reasons, because there's a lot of different people.
Right.
You know, if your church is doing a lot of outreach and you think the church should focus more on the inside of the church, then maybe you should be at a different church.
Right.
Don't blame everybody else for you not seeing that.
Right. Yeah. And it's, and I never understand, like, people that'll sit in a ministry or under somebody that they don't really trust.
Right.
And it's like, so you're like kind of wasting your time. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not able to trust the leadership there, or you feel like, man, the leadership's taking us in a direction that it just doesn't sit well with me. It's like, well, then move on. Like, it's okay to say, hey, this just isn't for me. Like, you know, let's move on. That's fine. I mean, do it in the right way. You know, of course, go to that leadership and kind of explain yourself. But I just think that we're so scared to death of controversy, of having a tough discussion. And we wonder why we're not growing or why we're not getting anywhere, because we're not having those tough discussions and saying, hey, here's how I feel. Here's how you made me feel. Let's get this resolved and move on. Or just being able to move on. Like, it's okay to move on, to outgrow somebody, or to, you know, to say, hey, look, this was great in the season, but I'm stepping into a different season where it's just, you know, what you're going through, what I'm going through just doesn't match up. Like, it's all good. Right. You don't have to hate somebody or be mean to somebody just to say, hey, look, you know, I think I'm getting taken in a different direction. So,
and you both have to have the spiritual maturity in that conversation to be like, okay, cool. Well, I'll pray for you before you leave, you know, instead of, well, if you're leaving, then you don't have anything else to do with us. Don't even call us. You know,
it drives me crazy.
Yeah. It's just, it's an impossible thing to maintain that level of disrespect for somebody.
Right.
I mean, and it's like you said, if you don't trust your leadership, that's a problem. And I've had that problem before, especially with tithing. You know, we've talked about before, if you don't understand why you're tithing or where your tithes are going, it's hard to give up that money because you don't understand that it's not about the money. It's about being obedient to God's word. Right. But at the same time, in your flesh, it's like, I don't know where this money's going. I don't know what we're doing with it. And that's a trust issue. That's trusting your leadership.
Yeah. And it's, and again, a leadership, I think that's a big leadership problem. You shouldn't have people that are dedicated to you that are like, man, I'm in. And I'm, not only am I sacrificing my time, my energy, but I'm also giving my money.
Right.
You as a leader should be able to have those conversations with those people if they have questions like, hey, what, you know, I kind of have questions about like what is our goal as a church when it comes to the money, when it comes to outreach, or when it comes to updating the building or whatever. And it's almost like leaders, they just shrill. Right. How dare you not trust me, or how dare you ask me these questions? And stuff like that. And I think we need to be transparent and be
Right.
those leaders that are okay with saying, hey, here's what we believe. Like, here's where our money goes. Here's what we're looking at. I think that'll put a lot of people at ease, and it'll make a lot of people trust you beyond just blind faith in your leader.
Right. And that's, we have our leadership meetings at Remnant. That Julie, she's our secretary at the church. So she's got the bank book every meeting. And anytime any of us want to look at that, we're welcome to do so. There's nothing being hidden.
Yep.
Every dollar that comes into the church is in that book.
Yep.
So you have to be transparent about that stuff.
Yeah.
You just have to be.
Yeah. And it makes everybody know that we're in this together. That it's not, okay, y'all give it to me and just trust me with whatever I do with it. It's like, no, we're in this together.
Right.
Usually when we make a big purchase, we're all discussing it.
Right.
All of our leadership from the top, from the pastor down to the cleaning lady.
Right.
Hey, what do we think? What do we think about this new speaker system that we need? You have nothing to do with it. Cleaning lady, children's ministers, blah, blah, blah. You have nothing to actually do with it, but we're in this together. Right. This isn't my money. This is our money. Like, let's see what we want to do with it. Let's see what our dreams and what our visions are together.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that a lot, but I'm also, when it's not something that directly affects me, I guess personally, without, for lack of a better word, but I tend to stand off from having an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Even though I should.
Yeah.
It's still, I tithe into that ministry, so I should have an opinion. But if it's not something I know anything about, I feel like I shouldn't have an opinion about it. But you ask.
Yeah.
So if you ask the question, then you want my opinion.
Right. And at least just knowing. Right. I may not have an opinion on it, but it's good that's awesome that you come to me and just let me know, like, hey, this is what we're investing in. This is why we're investing in it. This is the importance of why we're investing in it. I'll give y'all kind of a heads up on our leadership meeting next week that we're having. It's, we know the what, but what's the why?
Right.
Because we say, okay, we need a chair crew to set up and set chairs for what we have going on during the weeks. Okay, we know the what. Why? Why is that important?
Right.
What does this have to do with our ministry?
Right.
What does it have to do with our vision? It's not just, well, we need somebody to do it.
Right.
It's lives are being changed.
Yep.
Because you swept, because you set up chairs, because you cleaned the bathrooms, because you took out the trash.
Right.
These lives that were saved today that are down at the altar, that are crying out to the Lord, couldn't have been done without everybody doing what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Everybody, from the word to the praise and worship to the cleaning to the coffee shop to the welcoming people, everybody doing what they're supposed to do. Same throughout the week. We have men's meeting, we have women's meeting.
Right.
If that person doing those ministries has to come in and do everything, what happens? Burnout happens. They're not giving everything they got into it. Therefore, people that are there to be ministered to aren't getting the best.
Yeah.
So it takes each and every one of these steps. So that's what we're going to talk about, because it's so important. We are all in this together.
Well, and also we talk about all the time the vision of a much larger remnant, right?
Yeah.
So these systems we put in place are not necessarily super important now, but it's super important to have them now, so that when we are growing to that size, we're ready. We don't have to, like you've talked about before, we don't have to scramble around and figure it out at that point, because at that point it's too late.
Right.
It's already made an impression on a first-time visitor who didn't have a chair.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I heard some statistic, and I think it's weird, but it's a statistic. So I can't remember the number, but most people, the two things that they're concerned about is the music and the cleanliness of the bathroom.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just such a small thing that people are like, well, that's not important. It's incredibly important. But we get so into our heads about, well, I don't do much at the church. All I do is blank.
Right. That's good.
No, everything you do touches every single person that comes in there.
Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not seen, people think it's not important.
Right.
And it could not be further from the truth.
Right.
Like there's infinitely more that goes unseen that goes into it than seen.
Right.
You see, you hear praise and worship. You see and you hear the word. Like that's pretty much it.
Right.
You know, other than coffee shop and like greeting, you don't see cleaning. You don't see setup. You don't see people running the soundboard. You don't see people running the computer. You don't see people printing out, you know, invite cards. You don't see people running the social media and the website. And you don't see all these things that go with it that are kind of nameless things. Nobody knows who does what, you know, unless somebody brings it up.
Right.
Nobody knows who does those things. They just know, hey, it's done.
Right.
Man, it smells nice in here. It's clean. Man, the chairs are set up. Man, it's crazy, you know. And like we said, with like just men's meeting, like that's 20 minutes worth of setting up chairs.
Right.
That's you know, an hour's worth of cleaning to make sure before and after everything's clean.
Right.
You know, and people they take that for granted because it's not seen. But again, that rolls back into leadership.
Right.
As a leader of any kind in the church, whether you're the pastor, whether you're the youth pastor, whatever it may be, making sure that you let those people know that you're appreciated,
Right.
that you're seen, that what you do matters, that there was somebody down that gave their life to the Lord. You had a part of that.
Right.
Not just the word, not just the nice music or the light. You had a part of that.
Right.
Lady who cleans the church.
Right.
That's you.
Well, we had the kids in our youth service tonight with us, and Brittany was saying a verse, and I can't remember. It was love God with all your heart and love others. And she got to love others, and Zane shouted out, love others, because they had learned it in children's church.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that, you know, a children's minister took the time to teach him that, and he now knows it. And, you know, Brittany and Abby, they're two of our youth that do kids church, and they were up late making cake pops and brownies and stuff for the Valentine's party they had today.
Yeah.
That stuff matters.
Yes.
Like, it is so important.
Yeah.
Everything is important in ministry, and people have got to get out of this mindset of, I don't do much.
Yeah.
You just have to, because everything does matter.
Yep. Again, leaders, make sure you voice that.
Right.
Overly
Yes.
voice that to them.
Yes.
Like, okay, Pastor, I get it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make sure that
I
you
wanna
know
make
that.
sure you get it.
Yes, like, because it is. It comes from people that are just, I put this together. I'm the one that done this. I'm the one that runs it. I'm the one. And wonder why. I don't know why we can't get people to volunteer. I don't know why we can't get people to be here. I can't. Well,
And it's easy, you know, it's easy to get into that routine of, you know, when somebody's doing something for a while, it becomes easy to not see it.
yeah.
You know, to not pay
You just
attention
expect
to
it to
Right.
happen.
And then the one time it's not, it's like, wait, why isn't this done?
Right.
You know, so you've got to be in that habit of over appreciation.
That's good. And if the only time you go to somebody is when they mess up,
right.
you are in the wrong.
Right.
That is bad leadership.
Yep.
Period. I don't care how busy you think you are. That is bad leadership.
Right.
If you can't at least be able to go to them in the good and the bad, you should not be a leader.
Right.
Period.
Amen.
Stop it.
Yep.
Like, it drives me nuts. The only times a leader will talk to you is trying to get on your head about something.
Right.
Like, how about encouragement? How about just going up to somebody underneath you and going, hey, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to help
Right.
you? How's everything going? Like, what do you need? Is there something that we can provide you that'll help you do what you're supposed to do? Not just come in and go, why didn't this get done?
Right.
Well, there's a list of reasons. I've been asking for this, and this, and I haven't got it. That's why this is
Right.
falling through the cracks. You know, maybe that could have been taken care of if the leadership would just go and go, hey, how's everything going? Is there something you need? Is there
Right.
something I could do to help it better?
And then follow up with that.
right.
Don't just say, is there anything you need? And then, oh, you need that? Well, I'll have somebody take care of that.
Right.
No, follow up with that. Make sure they get Jennifer, my beautiful, lovely, awesome
Oh,
wife.
my goodness. Sucking up. Brady Parks.
That's right. She's an avid listener, by the way. Anyway, she asked for headphones in a leadership meeting one day. Just a very simple thing. And you immediately, right after the meeting, made that happen. And it meant a lot to her to have that waiting on her the following Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't have to ask for it for 3 Sundays in a row before
Yeah.
she got that. And it made her feel important and heard.
Yeah. It means a lot to people, man.
Yeah.
Like, tonight just being able to get that. I just got a like a wireless hookup for Tyler for his guitar. Just something I know he's been wanting.
Right.
Something I know he can use, and it's just like, man, let me try to get that for him, because I know that the little things like that mean so much to people. Like,
Right.
oh man, he just texted me. He's like, dude, thank you so much. I've been wanting one of these, and it's just like just little things like that. And I got Jim and this isn't just, oh, Pastor Mike's just awesome at being a leader, but it's just little things you can do that mean a lot to
Right.
people. Jim has this little fidget toy that he always has with him. And I was at the store the other day and I saw a pack of like 5 of them. I was like, man, let me get those for Jim. I think that'll mean a lot, just a little
Right.
something just to say, hey man, you're appreciated.
Right.
And here you go. I wanted to get this for you. That means so much to people.
And we get so wrapped up in, well, I can't do a lot
Yeah.
for somebody, so I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
No, those little things matter. Just saying, how's your day going? Just that is huge to some people, because some people may not have anybody in their lives that give a crap how their day is going. So if you feel led to do whatever little thing for somebody, do it.
Yeah. Or just connection during the week, a text,
Yeah.
a call, hey, how's your week going? Just want to check in.
Right.
Do you need anything? We all get busy. It's not an everyday thing. You can do that. I get it.
Right.
But just every now and then, just a text to some of the people that are under you. Hey, how's everything going?
Right.
Hey,
And
call
I've-
5 minutes.
I've got to get better at that. Just making those connections on a regular basis. I'll every couple of weeks I'll think about it, but
Yeah.
it needs to be more often.
Yeah.
And I will,
Yeah.
now that it's pointed out.
Right now that you're going to have to, and everybody's going to keep you accountable to that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just means so much, and it keeps you connected from Sunday to Sunday. It keeps you connected from event to event,
Right.
to where it's like, we're not just asking something from you. We want to connect with you. We want to walk through life with you.
And that is the difference between church and relationship.
Yes. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. It's that everyday
Yeah.
walking together,
Right.
knowing what's going on in each other's life, knowing, oh, your kid's birthday is coming up, knowing, oh, you got this going on. You got a doctor's appointment. Like, how did it go? Little things like that,
Right.
like add up in a big, big way. And it starts with the leaders. Because when a leader does that, when a leader's calling you, when the pastor's calling you on a Tuesday going, hey, how's everything going? Oh, it's good. Oh, okay. All right, man. I love you. I hope your week is good. What does that do to you? Now that makes you want to go.
Right.
Who can I reach
Right.
out to?
Exactly.
Who do I have under me? You may be the women's leader. So now you're going, well, pastor called me, man, I really need to call who I'm over and just see how they're doing. It gets infectious. Like, you pick up that culture. You really do. You catch the culture.
And it doesn't have to be somebody you're over, and just,
Yeah.
random people you go to church with, random people in your life that you just want to reach out to. My brother, oddly enough, has been reaching out to me more often in the last couple of weeks, and it's been awesome to hear from him, because I don't normally hear from him very often. But I've said before, my sister's in prison now, and I think maybe that's what sparked him reaching out to me more often.
Yeah.
And he's not one to say I love you, but I've been forcing him to say it on the phone because, being friends with Mike Simmons,
Oh gosh.
there's a lot of love. I've accidentally told my boss I love you before. So
It got a raise.
but and now when I say it to him, I can tell it's becoming more natural for him to say it to me. And that
Right.
is just very cool. But the point I'm trying to make is that it doesn't have to be somebody you're necessarily in leadership over, just the relationships in your life.
Yeah.
Reach out to people,
Yeah.
people you haven't visited lately, people you haven't talked to in a long time. Reach out to them. Just make sure everybody's okay.
Right.
Love others as we would ourselves.
Right. And stop, for those of y'all under leadership, stop expecting your leadership to do all of that all the time.
Right.
You can do that. If somebody's in the hospital, don't just be, oh, pastor will call them. Why don't you call them?
Right.
Like, you be the one to fill that in. Because a lot of times we expect so much, especially now in an age where you're connected constantly, so people are calling, like, everybody has pastor's personal number. Everybody can get in contact with them. And when you got so many people coming at you, somebody's going to get left. There's just not enough time in the day. So we need to start picking up the slack. Anybody that's under somebody, pick up that slack where you see so-and-so's in the hospital. I'm not going to text pastor and make sure that he gets a hold of them.
Right.
I can get a hold of them.
That,
Hey, it's like that's how everybody's taken care of. It's a huge umbrella where everybody is doing their part.
right. And I know, I mean, sometimes pastor don't know about it.
Right,
You know, I know
right.
we had a situation a few weeks ago. We had a lady in the hospital, and you didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yep.
You know, nobody reached out to say, hey,
Yeah.
so-and-so's in the hospital. So don't just assume we know. Don't assume we're going to take care of it. You're going to take care of it, whatever. Do that yourself.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
Go visit them. Call them.
Yep.
Do it.
Because that's how growth happens. Is all of us spread our reach. The 5 people that are close to us. Now the next person, they're spreading the 5 people
Right.
that are, and it just keeps spreading. And it comes from that central leadership or that, that vision of whoever is in charge. But then it just spreads from there. And it's not one person trying to do everything.
Right.
It's one person's vision that God gives them in the direction, but then everybody doing their part to where now thousands of people are getting reached
Right.
without this one person even having to, this person way down the line. The pastor hasn't even met them.
Right.
But because of that influence, because of that culture, it's spreading and people are connecting and people are doing life together, in a way that is organic and it's real and it starts from that leadership, but it spreads out so much farther than that.
Right.
If anybody in leadership, if they have to have their finger in everything, that's never going to grow.
Right.
It's only going to grow as far as the capacity that person has. It's never going to grow past that.
Right.
So.
And it's just the same thing on the flip side of the coin. If you have a negative experience with somebody, same thing.
Yeah.
It's going to grow the same way.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure you keep in check how you deal with people as on a regular basis.
Yep. That's good, man. And that's just kind of in my learning day to day. That's something I try to really, really focus on, is just making sure that I try my best to set the bar high in service and fellowship and love and just having a good attitude and all these things, because that it really does spread, man. And people catch that. People catch whatever you're trying to do as a leader. People will catch that and replicate it.
It really is easier when you trust your leader in the church.
Yeah.
If you don't trust that leadership, it's harder for you to be excited about that vision.
Right.
It's harder for you to help other people to catch that vision if you don't believe in that vision.
Yeah. That's good. That's good, man.
It's all good.
It's all good. That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
What else you got? Anything else on your heart?
No.
Just
Rotel.
oh my gosh. Rotel and meatballs. Lord have mercy.
Yes. That's going to be good.
Now that is funny.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, guys. If you don't have a home church, come check us out at Remnant in Malden, Missouri. You can go to our website at remnantmalden.com to find out anything about our church that you want to know. And if you don't care, to go to any podcast platform that you use and rate us, give us a like, share. Love everybody.